Hello and welcome to the Guitar School Network. My name is Marc Seal and this is the Ultimate Guitar Show. All right, what a special show we have for you today. On All About Technique, I'm going to teach you guys how to do right-handed tapping, and we're going to learn forward, backwards, and backwards to forwards. So I'll give you some exercises to practice with that. But then I got to thinking, you know, one of the best things I can do as a teacher would be to try to inspire you guys to become better players and to practice more. So I'm sitting around going, well, gosh, what really works for me? And the number one inspiration for me is to go watch another guitar player play and see, you know, actual playing in practical setting. So I decided that I was going to pull out of the archives about 5 years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, when I still had long hair. I did a concert with Matt Bissonette, Mario Rossi, and Ben Camp, and I thought that, you know what, I'm going to show you guys maybe 3 or 4 tunes off of that, just as a free concert, let you guys enjoy it and kind of get inspired to practice, and then you can go off on the week and work on your tapping, and we can meet back here in a couple of weeks. So let's move on to All About Technique, and then stay tuned for the free concert. Tapping, one of the most overused techniques in the 80s and has got completely shut out in the 90s, but now it's making a resurgence. But with the resurgence, we need responsibility. We don't want to burn it out again. So I want to show you guys how to tap and then get you guys proficient at it. And then in future shows, I'm going to show you different ways that we can use it in a more tasty fashion, if you will. But what is a tap? Basically, tapping is taking our right hand and doing a hammer-on with our second finger on our right hand. The examples I want to use this week for you to practice would be, we're going to do 3 of them basically. The first one is what we call forward tapping. And forward tapping is where we go from a low note to a higher note. For example, the examples we'll use here will be a 7th fret, 1st string, to 10th fret, 1st string, and then we're going to tap with our right hand, second finger on the 12th fret. Now when we tap, we want to hold the pick with our thumb and first finger in the ready position. We want to rest the palm of our hand on the neck of the guitar, and that will help to keep the other strings quiet. And then when we actually do our tap, we want to hammer down our second finger on to the fret and make sure that the note actually rings, like this. So our first example would be 7, hammer to 10, tap 12. Sounds like this. This is forward tapping. Seven, 10, 12. 7, 10, 12. It's imperative that whenever your tapping finger goes down on a forward tap, that we're going to pick up our pinky to make sure we pull right back off to our 7th fret. So 7, 10, 12. Pull our pinky off and then pull back off to 7 and start back over. So it should be played 7, 10, 12 repetitively. Backwards tapping would be the exact opposite of that. We're going to start by tapping our second finger on the 12th fret, pulling off to 10, pulling off to 7, and then tapping our finger on 12 again, adding our pinky instead of pulling off to our pinky on the 10th fret, back to 7. So now the notes repetitively would be 12, 10, 7. Now backwards to forward would be a combination of both of those. If we were to tap the 12th fret, pull off to 10, pull off to 7, hammer back on to 10, tap 12, pull back off to 10, and there we have it, 12, 10, 7, 10, 12, 10, 7, 10. That would be backwards to forwards. It sounds like this. Now listen to the difference between the three. Forward, backwards, backwards to forwards. Now there's a lot of different techniques we can use with our taps, but what we want to do is we want to get real familiar with those right off the bat and get real comfortable. Make sure that you wired forward before you go backwards. Then get backwards wired before you do the combination of the two. But really make sure everything you play is really clean. As we start to go faster, I noticed that a lot of times we just start kind of getting sloppy when we're combining forward, backwards, backwards to forwards, and there's no real pattern to it. Make sure there's always a pattern there while you're practicing it. And again, using a metronome is always a pretty happening way to go. All right, let's take one more look at all those exercises with a closer look, and then we're going to move on and check out the concert, and we'll see you back here in a couple weeks. Forward tapping. Backwards, starting with the 12th fret. Backwards to forwards.